And we are recording. Welcome everybody. We are here on the Lola show. We are here. I'm very excited. So I'm starting a new series. It's a 10-episode series on interviewing people in Portugal, asking them their experience, how it is, what it is like. And we have a special guest here today, Micheline Huntley, my new grandmother, Lola. So, welcome to the channel. How are you, Micheline?
I'm great.
Good. So, tell me, I'll let you tell them, how did we meet?
So, we met at this hotel where he happens to be filming here in Lisbon, the Tivoli. Mm-hmm. And he was up at the Sky Bar, and he just came over and struck up a conversation. He's a great conversationist. And one thing that was most inspiring to me is he's so young, but we talked for hours without a telephone.
Oh,
Not use his phone. So impressive. Very conversation. Very impressive. Mm-hmm. Very focused.
Yeah.
So we talked for about 4 hours.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was on the rooftop doing my little videos, and then I seen you walk in, and I heard the English. And I was like, is she here by herself? So I was like, let me go ask. Next thing you know, we talking about life, and I found out she's living here in Portugal. Told me her story, was very inspiring. So, yeah. So, very glad to meet you. Now I got family here. This is my Lola here. So, yeah. So let's start off. So we're gonna talk about your experience living abroad overseas. So let's start off. When did you leave the U.S.? Where was your first stop?
Oh, I left the U.S. in 1987.
Okay.
And my first stop was Okinawa, Japan.
Okinawa, Japan, okay.
It was very interesting because I had such a short time frame to prepare for that. So I just got a job offer, and I wanted to leave, and I just left. So in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the max, I was packed out.
Oh, wow. It was only 3 weeks? No? Oh, wow.
No time to think about things. You know? And so the beauty of it was being able to go without preconceived notions. You know? So I just wanted to open mind.
Yeah.
And that was, it was a little scary getting on the plane, but once I got on the plane, I didn't look back. You know?
Yeah.
I just kept my tears to myself. It's too late now.
Yeah, you on board. It's too late. You on board. So wow, I didn't know that. So 3 weeks. I'm learning a lot in this interview, like you guys. So 3 weeks. You know, a lot of people, they're taking a lot of time to see if they want to make the move, which is okay. So wow, 1987, you had 3 weeks. And could you explain to people because when we think of Japan, we only think Tokyo. Okay. You know, do you mind giving them a geographic
location? No, actually, it's in the southern part of Japan. It's in the Ryukyu Islands. And it's considered a blue zone, which means that's where people live to be 100.
Oh, wow.
You know, they have a lot of that. They used to anyway. Things have changed once the Americans came with all the, fast food.
Yeah, with all the junk.
Yeah,
you know how U.S. bring all the junk.
So anyway, if anybody's watches Netflix, then they've seen that Live to 100.
Okay, yeah, that's one of the blue zones.
Okinawa was the first one.
Got you.
And so it was just awesome just being there, because I didn't have time to think and what if. I just went.
You just went.
Yeah, my job was, because that's how I got there.
Got you.
Through, the jobs I was doing.
Okay.
And so I went, and everything was there for me, and I just met people. It's sort of like here, but there I didn't know anybody.
Okay.
When I went there.
Yeah, you was fresh start. Just
took a chance.
I like that.
Took a chance, and I was just surprised at how welcoming and warm people were, and how they come together. And so that reminds me so much, in a sense, of Portugal.
Okay, we gonna get to Portugal. So we gonna get to Portugal.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
So how many years were you in Okinawa? So that was your first stop
16
abroad.
16
years.
16
wow.
years Okinawa. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then after Okinawa, what was your next stop?
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference, but
cold.
It's cold.
It's cold up there.
It
What I'm saying?
It is. But getting from one climate to the next, and one part of the world to a different part. I didn't want to spend all my years before I retired in Okinawa as much as I wanted to, because it's an island and it's sort of it's different from the rest of the world.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I needed to get back into a little bit more of a normal type situation. you
Okay.
know, which I think Germany was more like be more similar to America.
Okay.
You know, but
Okay.
I wasn't looking for that specifically. But it's just like you can't live on an island forever.
Forever, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that was, it definitely was an island.
Yeah.
And then Okinawa was, Germany was more realistic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like what you just mentioned. So you said something about you were in Okinawa, but you knew that it's not somewhere where you would be forever, you know, because it was an island. So explain that, being the open-minded and just still going with the flow. How did you go and navigate about that? You know, like when the Germany came up, was it like, all right, it's time to leave, or did another opportunity come up? Like, how did you go about that?
Well, after going to several people, some of my friends, colleagues who have retired, in Okinawa, when they would do the retirement parties at the end of the year, and they would tell you of all the different countries they've lived.
Oh, okay.
You know, during their process, and I go, wow, I love Okinawa, but I don't want to spend all of my working years in this location. So it was only for that reason that I said it's time to move on.
Gotcha.
You know, and so I, left Okinawa.
Okay, and when you know, I like that.
Yeah, when you know,
I like
and it's
that.
good to, you think, okay, you can branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not as adventurous as some people who could live in one place for 2 years and, move on, but that was enough.
Yeah. Okay. So 16 years Okinawa. So now Germany. How many years
16
were you?
years. I would refuse to stay longer in Germany than I did in Okinawa because I loved Okinawa more.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, 16 years in Germany. Now it's time to go.
Okay, so same 16 years.
16.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know you did for that long. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and what part again?
I was in Baumholder.
Baumholder.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in Ramstein area.
Okay, so
For working.
where, just for the people that don't know Germany geographically, where would you say it is equivalent to Berlin? South of Germany, east, west,
Well,
north?
it's closer to maybe the French border.
French border.
More
Okay.
closer to South Brooklyn.
So it was cold.
Well, actually,
In the
the
winter.
weather is not as cold as you might think, not in that part.
Okay.
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 I don't think we really had, I thought the winters were rather mild, even though we did get some snow. But it was really milder than I would have thought for Germany. But also, when you speak with the Germans, it's, it has a lot to do with climate change.
Climate change. Yeah.
They'll tell you about when they were growing up, how snow would stay on the ground for a long time. And for us, maybe the whole 16 years I was there, maybe 4 or 5 times at the max would it stay that long.
Okay.
And most of the time it snows and then it melts, and quickly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that German. I did a 3 months in Germany winter. I'm good. Nah, listen. I grew up in Massachusetts, lived in England my first year abroad, and then Germany was the second place. I couldn't do it. The cold got me. The cold I'm Caribbean, you know what I'm saying? The cold got my bones. So, okay, so now, what I think a lot of people been waiting for. So now Okinawa 16 years, Germany 16, and straight. You didn't go back to the States and then come back.
No.
Once you left, you was out?
Yeah.
I was
gone.
You was gone.
Didn't look back.
So now, after Germany, next stop was?
Retirement.
Retirement, okay.
Yep.
So now where are you at now?
I wanted to go where it was a little bit warmer.
Okay.
So I knew I wanted to. I went back to the States for a couple of months.
Okay. To recoup.
And to get things still being a foreigner living in abroad, I needed to get things in order. So I went back to the States for a couple of months, and then I came to Portugal.
And I'm a Portugal, muito.
But I had done my homework before I came to Portugal.
Okay,
I came, now it's sort of a thing to come to Portugal.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to come to Portugal.
It's the wave, you know, like the ocean.
Exactly,
like the ocean,
you know we got to go there. But when I went, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
I had been reading a lot about it, and I read some brochures, and I've been reading about it for a couple of years, and then I went to a conference on it. But the first thing was when I went to visit Porto was my first trip.
Okay.
And when I went there, I just went for holiday because somebody recommended it. It's reasonable, nice hotel and nice view. So I went there for a couple of days during the Christmas with a friend, and I just went to relax. And the people, the warmness, and everybody was happy, you know, and they wanted to please you, you know, and things were reasonable. And I said, you know what, I think I could live here, except Porto weather was similar to Germany.
Yeah.
It was raining a little bit when I was there. I said, there's got to be some warmer places.
Yeah.
So then the next year I went back. I came back, but I went to the Algarve.
Okay.
And so I went for an
holiday.
event. I went smooth jazz.
Oh, the smooth jazz. Okay.
Yeah. So I went there.
Were you living in Germany at the time, or okay, that's when you were living
in Germany.
So you was pre-doing okay. You knew you retirement.
Yeah. And so you know, I went there, and I was sitting out. You know, we were having breakfast, and it was just sitting out and looking. It reminds me of Okinawa, because you know, in the southern part of Portugal, the Algarve. And I go, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, the water. And I realized, you know, I knew from Germany that wherever I retired, I'd like to be where it's warm.
Yeah.
Not a cold climate.
Yeah, you can't. Listen,
No,
we don't.
I like sunshine.
Our skin ain't for that. You know what I'm saying? We not for that.
Sunshine, warm weather, you know, and the people.
Yes.
You know, they were lovely. You know? So I go, I can live here.
Yeah.
And then I started coming. It's important wherever you go to go many places before you make your decision.
Okay. You mean many places in the
check 'em out
country,
in
or
the
many
country.
different places?
It depends. If you haven't traveled much,
Okay.
I'd say go to many places first.
First, yeah.
And
See
then-
what. Yep.
Yeah, the pros and the cons.
Yep.
And then once you narrow it down, you know, then start going back to the place that you like
Okay.
different times of the year.
Different times a year. Woo! She's giving y'all the gems. I hope you got your pen and paper out. Giving y'all the gems. So first step, visit multiple places since you have in countries. Second, if you find your place, go multiple times a year. So to get a different feel.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like one of my good friends, she wants to visit London, but she visited last year when it was the hardest time in England in like forever. And I was like, listen, slow down. She wanted to move. I was like, go visit in the winter.
Yes.
Like, make sure you can, you know. So, okay.
Yes.
So you had your pros and cons list. Like
Yes.
you did your multiple visits. So, how many times did you visit Portugal before you knew?
Before
you said
I moved.
before you moved, because you said
9.
you knew 9 times.
I did. Yes, I moved. I came 9 visits.
9 visits.
9 visits.
But you knew the
different.
first time.
I knew, when I went to Porto, that was, you know, it just like it, touches your heart. Just like if you were looking for a place to live. Or, you know when you know.
You know when you
so
know.
I just felt that, you know, when I went to Porto, and then when I came to the Algarve, I was like, yep, that's it.
That's wow.
Yeah, and then I checked some other places out in the area.
Okay.
And the most important thing that I think people should think about is to be sure to ask other people.
Ask other people.
Ask the locals.
Locals.
You know, talk to locals. Talk to anybody that speaks the language.
Yes.
So that you can hear their version. And they will tell you, oh yeah, this is a good place. But one thing was, oftentimes people come on holiday. They come during the summer, and the place is very busy.
Yep.
And you come back in the winter, and it's sort of shut down.
Yeah. You
So
get
you
2
wanna
different
make sure,
vibes.
Yeah, that you do your homework and go different times of the year.
Yeah.
So you can see. But my favorite question, I think, is something to think about, is if you decide you want to come, you know, you got to ask yourself, make a list of pros and cons before you even think about it.
Okay.
You know, you want to make sure that you know, what is your personality like?
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
because everybody's different. Because when you look now on social media and different things, I see a lot of things that I wouldn't consider appropriate. And, you know, people have their own opinions from other
different
people.
time.
So go and form your own opinions.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to listen to people, but just do your own homework.
Yeah. One thing I really liked that you mentioned was speaking with the locals. I don't think a lot of people do that because when you're moving to another country, to feel at home, at the end of the day, yes, we're trying to flock to our people, but you're in their country, you know, so getting that feel from the locals, see how, if you don't want to be in a city or a country where it's like, they don't want foreigners to be in, you know, so that's very important. I'm glad you added that. Okay,
and
so
another thing.
drop the gems, Lola, drop the gems.
But when people tell you don't go there, or they don't like that place. The thing is to ask them why.
Why?
Because
that's their opinion.
Their opinion,
Yeah.
and the main reason they might not like it could be a reason that you would like it. So that to me is very important.
I hope they got their pen out.
That would be the number one question.
100%.
You know,
100%.
Yeah, and
like,
just pay attention.
100%. I'll give a quick side example. Like, I visited Marrakesh, Morocco, and I loved it. I'm a male, you know, so my female friends have had a different experience, you know. So yeah.
I would not go back.
She wouldn't go back. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's everyone's gonna have their different opinion and a different. At the end of the day, it's good to form your own opinion.
Do your
So
own homework.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
do your own homework.
So let's dive into your pros and cons list. So what made you want to move to Portugal, and what pros and cons? What made you? What was your? Yeah. She was like, I'm ready.
Okay, pro would be like when I first came. Even though I've done a lot of reading, you know, about it. But I think just when I came on holiday, and I didn't come with the intention of checking Portugal out to see if it was a place for retirement.
Yep.
I just came because it was recommended by someone to come during that time.
Yeah. Okay.
And so my mind wasn't even thinking about retirement. I was just going for the holiday.
Yes.
And that right there, once I got to Porto, just things began to creep up, you know, and the way they talk to you, and you know, everybody was friendly, you know, and safety. Safety is number one.
I don't even need to ask you questions. She's answering all the questions. So
safety is number one.
Yep.
And you know, besides, you know, the people, you know, and you pay attention to the feeling that you get. Yeah. You know, and so safety was number one.
And let me just to give context with when you traveled by yourself. Like when
sometimes I do, but that particular trip I was traveling with a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you
I
still
just
felt safe.
Yeah, I felt safe. You could feel it. I could feel it, you know. And so that's what made me think about it, you know, when I said, oh my gosh, because the weather wasn't that great. You know, it was the feel, you know, and the way people are just so friendly and warm and welcoming, you know, it's like, I think I could do it. And actually I was traveling with a friend who was single also at the time, and she had just actually bought a place. But, and I was concerned about her. I said, you're gonna live in a foreign country by yourself? Well, I let her know I was, you know, a little skeptical. Well, not skeptical, but I was a little concerned.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, you know, so I just had to be careful because I didn't want to, you know, wanted her to be happy, and, you know, and she did fine. You know, she speaks more languages than I do.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
But safety is number one.
Safety.
That was my, and then weather would be number two.
So safety, weather. Yep.
Yeah, safety and weather, and you know, people being in their
hospitality,
culture.
Yep.
Those were the three things that, you know, inspired me to think Portugal was the place for me.
Okay.
I have two cons.
Two cons. Let them know.
Well, they're very, very. Okay, my two cons. Is when I've sort of had a fear of dogs. And once I came to Lagos, they were everywhere. And I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do it? And I was visiting on one of the trips I came to check it out. Yeah. And I was another person that I knew happened to be in Lagos at the same time. And they invited me over, and they weren't far from where I was staying, and it was the Tivoli down there. So they invited me to dinner, and so her husband or either son said, we'll walk you back to the hotel. And it was dark, because it's December then. Yeah. I'm like, no. I'm thinking, if I'm going to live here, I'm going to be by myself, I need to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So
you brave.
I started out
you
walking.
Brave, Lola, you brave. That shit brave.
Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm brave, all right. And I start walking, and all of a sudden this dog, and I make eye contact.
Oh, you go back.
And he starts barking at me, and I screamed, and this guy whistles, and
the dogs went
his own ways.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to have to overcome that fear.
Yeah.
You know, which people who visited me, you know, since I've been here, are really surprised. You know, I've still struggle some, but nothing like to that degree that I had when I first got here. Yeah. And the second one is sort of silly, but I like learning, and I love in the States. When I go to the States, I always love going to the Apple Store.
Okay.
Because I'm not the tech savviest person.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I love to go.
I already know where you're going with it.
They have an Apple store, but they don't have that Apple support.
Yeah.
Like we have
it's
in the
not.
States.
It's Apple in the States is a different.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can buy them. You can buy the devices here, but it doesn't. You don't have the services and you don't have the classes.
Yeah.
Which I just loved and always went to.
Yeah.
You know, even in Germany, I could go to. There was a place in Frankfurt I could go.
Okay.
And get lessons and classes and stuff, and they don't have that here in Portugal.
Gotcha.
So I feel like that's slipping for me, but you know, it's okay.
You got me. Listen, call me
right.
if you got any Apple problems. We go handle
That's
it.
right.
So,
That's
okay.
right. And we don't, you know, one thing I notice here, we don't use our phones as often.
Yep.
You know, like you know, every second taking pictures and posting and stuff.
Yep.
We live life. We live life.
Say it again for the people in the front.
We live life. And so do you. You know, I'm so impressed with you, you know, with how you don't use your phone.
Thank
to
you.
be the age you are. You know, I'm surprised, you know, but you know how to have conversations and intermingle and meet people. And so those were my 2 points.
Yeah. You better stop. You better stop gassing me. You better stop gassing me. So I love that. Okay, so the 3 pros: safety, hospitality, weather. 2 cons, right? So let me ask you: did those 2 cons prohibit you from wanting to move to Portugal?
No, because you have to know yourself.
Yep.
And know your fears, you know, pluses, positives and negatives, and make, and decide, for me, it wasn't, I said I'm gonna have to overcome it.
Yeah.
The Apple Store is just something, as much as I hate,
hey, some
to
people
not have it, but,
yeah.
I say I can live without it. I'll just go when I can, and have people like you to help me.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. So okay.
It's not worth it. You have to give. Sometimes you have to give something up.
Yeah.
And for my freedom, my peace of mind, and my happiness. And as we met here.
Yeah.
And you see, I'm in Lisbon, a place that it reminded me of when I lived in New York decades ago, when you could walk the streets, and I meet up with other people, and we're here, and it's like we'll go out to dinner or somewhere, and it's dark by the time we finish. Maybe my friend will take the bus, and I'll take the metro, and we just check in when we get home, or back to the hotel or wherever, and just make sure we're okay. But walking through the metro at night, I think, oh my God, I could never do that in the States. And it's late sometimes when I'm walking back. Taking the metro back.
Europe life is later.
So it's very, I feel very safe.
Yeah, freedom, peace of mind, happiness. I love that. I love that.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And it outweighs a lot of other things.
Yeah. So how long have you been in Lisbon now? What year did you arrive in Lisbon?
In Lagos.
Sorry.
2020, 2 weeks before COVID.
2020, 2 weeks before. So you were here during COVID, and you're still here. So that says a lot. Because COVID, I think COVID made a lot of people realize
that they need to live.
Yeah, where if ish hits the fans, do I love where I'm at? If it all, so that's amazing. Okay,
a lot of opening for people.
Yeah. So how would you say? How would you 2020 or 2023 now, so 3 years, as a single Black woman, right? How would you say overall the experience has been being in Lagos and in Portugal in general, overall?
Okay, overall it's been excellent.
Say it again.
It's excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Couldn't be any better. It's sort of a small town. City or whatever you want to call it. But it's mainly with all the beaches, and water around it. So if you get a little bit stressed, which everybody does every now and then, take a break, go for a walk on the beach.
Go for the walk.
Yeah, go by the water, walk down to the marina.
Yeah.
And once you do a nice walk, you'll be okay. Which, living over here, I can walk.
Yes.
I can walk anytime. Even like when I met you that night, I said, he loves to talk. So it's about 11 o'clock, and I said, oh my gosh, the boss, I haven't got all my steps.
Yo, listen, let me tell y'all something. Lola is more active than me. She's like, boss, I need to get my steps. I'm like, how much steps you need? She goes, I go 10,000 steps a day. I'm like, I'm young and I'm trying to be in the crib, not moving. She is active, so that's good. That's good.
And it's
so
easy. It's easier.
It's easier.
It's easier lifestyle. Because pretty much in Lisbon or most of these areas, walking.
It's
walkable.
Europe is
It's walkable. In the States, you have to drive to get
everywhere.
to place.
Yep. That was good. She answered my question. Go ahead.
Yeah, the distance you have to drive and the safety factor.
Yep.
Even when I'm in the States and I'm trying to walk, I'm not feeling relaxed. I'm worried about a lot of things that I shouldn't have to worry about.
Yep.
So it's, and I know it's hard if you're in the States to get the walking.
Yeah,
even
definitely.
if you live in the area.
Definitely.
So I just, I love that. I feel free. I feel safe. And just enjoying life.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of like-minded friends.
Yes.
But the one thing I have to say about Lagos, we know that's where slavery started.
Yeah.
And you hear people, there's conversation about that. But the slave museum that we went to, they were very helpful, and they teach the kids about the history, the true history.
Yeah.
So I think that's great that they have it in school.
Yeah.
In America, they're closing the textbooks and not letting the kids read. But here they want the kids. You heard of it.
Yeah.
They want them to know history.
Yeah.
And it was something they were not proud of, but it's part of history.
Part of history, and they wanted to tell. And So we went to the slave museum down in Lagos when I went to visit her. Because for those who don't know, the first African slaves arrived in Lagos, Portugal, in the south. So that's where it all started, and I was shocked. We were shocked because the ladies at the museum, all white ladies, were proud, not proud of what happened, but were proud to give us the knowledge and share the information. And like Lola was saying, me as well, we're from the States, so we don't learn that. You know what I'm saying? MLK, Rosa Parks sat on, didn't sit in the back of the, so which is great, and they're learning about it. So let's touch on that. So how do you see the diversity in Portugal, in Lagos? Well, maybe not Lagos so much, but in Lisbon, how do you versus, you can even say versus Okinawa versus Germany, but how would you think the diversity is amongst the blacks and the whites and the Africans, the locals, the Brazilians? What's your comment on that?
Well, in Lisbon, I think you have more of that.
Yeah.
But to be perfect,
the capital, Lisbon's the capital.
Lisbon's the capital, and Algarve, where I live in Lagos, is by maybe 2.5 or 3 hours south of here. And in Lagos, even I have not met another Black American.
Wow.
There.
And you good? You good?
Yeah, and I walk around, and even the white folks ask, there's any, but I have a lot of international neighbors.
Yeah. Okay.
From different countries, which is just as beautiful, And in Lisbon, I've met Africans. You meet them here.
Yeah.
And I have them in Lagos as well.
Yeah.
But as far as Black Americans, I have not met any in Lagos.
Yeah, and that's very open-minded of you. Let's talk about how.
My age, see, I one thing I'd have to say, which is interesting, when you retire, it makes you think back over your life, and you have more time. When I was growing up, I went to predominantly Black elementary school. Then went to predominantly white high school because of the laws had changed. And then I went to predominantly Black university. And then I started teaching. It was, still, I'd have to say, even in the schools that I've taught.
Yeah.
I don't know where our people are. It seems to be more, minus me.
Yeah.
So you learn when you're in certain situations just to get along.
Yeah.
And I don't really look at color. I've got some of my best friends. Are not African American.
Yep.
But I do have some African American friends, but I have diversity. And one of my friends, when I went to visit years ago, and she wanted to see pictures. That was back before phones.
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures?
What y'all have? Y'all had what's it? Yeah.
I had my photo album. And she said, "You have any pictures?" I said, "Oh no, I stopped that because when I first, went back to States, and I took it just not to brag, but to let people see this is what I've done this past year. You know, and I realized that wasn't a good decision because you see jealousy.
Yep.
You know,
Let's touch on that. Let's
see jealousy.
Let's touch on that.
Yeah, you see jealousy.
Yeah.
I think what holds a lot of people back, and even one of my very close friends, and she said, Micheline, I'm so proud that you've been able to do that, but she never was able. So it just depends on the individual, but don't let people hold you back. You know, everybody has a dream. You know, if people love you, they should. I'm supporting you.
Yeah.
You know, you want to do that, you go for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Woo, shit. Yo, listen, it's Sunday night. She preaching to us right now.
We don't.
She preaching to us.
And so if I
She
listen,
preaching to us right now. She preaching to us.
if I you know, would listen to other people, I would never have had this experience.
Please say that again.
I would not have had this experience if I listened to other people, but I listened to my head and my heart, you know, and I have no regrets.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel bad for those who, you know, who don't agree with me.
Yeah.
And which means some people that you think are your friends or you think that are family that should be supporting you, they may not. Don't be angry with them. You just go ahead and do your life, do the right thing, enjoy your life. You know, it doesn't make any sense to stay, and because they want you to stay when you're not happy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You should go for it. You know, encourage all young people to go. And before I came, and I was in the States for a couple months, and I was at a certain place, and there was a young lady. She was just out of high school, but and so she was going, "Oh, you're moving to Portugal?" And she said, "I've never traveled." And oh my gosh, I don't even have a passport. And I said, well, if you want to travel, maybe you should find someone who travels, you know. And I said, you don't have to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You find a friend, somebody who travels, and you travel with them. And I said, eventually you'll be able to travel on your own.
Yeah.
Or there'll be a situation comes up while you're traveling.
Yeah.
That you may have to, you know, branch out on your own, and you build a confidence. It doesn't mean when you travel that it's always that easy. But you learn and you feel stronger and better every time you do it. You feel more comfortable. You know, it's a process like anything else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love it. You know?
Yeah.
And I have no regrets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's beautiful. And I didn't even have to ask the question because I was gonna. You answered it.
Sorry.
So no, you good. You making this easy. You know. So that's okay. So I'm gonna give some context or a scenario, right? Let's say there's a older single black woman out there from the States, from England, wherever, and they want to move abroad, right? They're interested in Portugal. Let's say that's like I think it's Portugal, and they're like there's that hump. They want to take the next step, right? What advice would you mentioned the pros and cons? You're giving advice upon you know, not worrying about your friends or family if they don't support you. But what advice would you give to them to like get over that hump, that to make the move?
You have to really want to do it, not doing it because of other people, but if it's something you really want to do, like anything else, you've got to do your homework.
Yeah.
You know, you need to do your research, and I don't mean Facebook and social media. I mean do research.
Research.
You know? There are different organizations and different. Just read up on it, you know, and then take it from there.
Okay.
Because I think I think social media is so opinionated.
Yeah,
and
it's
not always
other people's opinion. I
look at that and I'm going, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, so just do your homework. And from my experience, like moving here is even different from yours. Every time if you're moving to Portugal, the rules change.
Yes.
Periodically.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
But I think for that,
don't get me started.
I really think my experience, you know, when I was working, it was a constant change in the procedures and the expectations at work. You know, and if you know, so you had to adjust and you had to go with it. So all that prepared me.
Yep.
You know, it prepared me, but you have to be open and willing to change.
Yeah.
You know, you can't come to a place thinking, I'm leaving this place because I don't like it, and when I go there, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's no perfect place, but so you have to write your pros and cons of that.
Yeah.
You know, and see, and if it, you know, you have more pros, then fine. But it's if you need to write down before you even start traveling, you know, what you want, what your expectations are, you know. So that way, when you
Please,
go there,
I hope they got the pen out. Press pause and rewind, cause you telling them everything. So
you know, if you write it down, you know, then it might happen. You know, you get a chance. You don't get caught up in the moment. And make bad decisions. You know, or you know, you want to make the best decision. You know, and just pros and cons. You know. Yeah. And write, you know, and ask. But the main thing is, if somebody doesn't like it, it's a possibility that you might. You know. And I think that's, you know, knowing who you are, you know, what your personality is. It may not be for everybody. You know, and if it's not this place, you know, check out other places as well. You know, just maybe not just one place. You know, unless you're absolutely sure you've traveled a lot and you know that's the country you want to be. You know, if not, give some other countries an opportunity so you can be well balanced. Unless you're just really wealthy and you can just, you know, go from place to place.
I like that. I like that.
I'm on a budget.
She said I'm on a budget. So if you don't mind, let's see. You're making it. We flowing. This conversation flowing. So you're saying you're on a budget, right? So how would you say life is financially in Portugal? So let's say like this audience, American, British, these people are coming in. What advice would you give to them financially to be prepared? What would you say? Would you advise them come work here? Would you say, you know, have your remote job, have your business, whatever it is from the States? Like, how would you, is Portugal affordable versus the States, retiring? How would you,
Wow, that's a big question.
I got you thinking.
Yeah, you got me thinking. Well, for me, I think it would be, you know, it just depends on where you are in the States and, you know, your job and what your financial situation is. But I just knew wherever I retired, I don't know if I looked at it, I didn't look at it financially from, for retirement as far as one versus the other. The safety, I figure whatever, you know, because when you retire, you have to make it work wherever you are. You have to make it work. You know, on the budget that you have. You know? So for me, and you know, and I was planning and I thought about things, you know, because like healthcare is important, you know, so have a good plan. You know, I thought about that before I even retired. You know, to make sure that my health insurance would cover me. Because it covers me other places. It covers me anywhere in the world. But that was just because of my, you know, job, and so I knew I'd be okay. You know, but you could make it here, health-wise, because I think it's more expensive in the States. Medically. But the thing of it is, if you come here, you'll be okay if you learn Portuguese, because you can go then you can, you know, go to the health center. But you've got to be able to speak Portuguese, I think, to be successful. You know, which I'm learning Portuguese. And that's public, right? You're talking about public. The public, the public. Okay. Private is good. That's what I do. You know, but public, they sort of expect you, you know, to speak Portuguese. Gotcha. You know, you're already having a problem. So, you know, I don't know if you would want to, you know, you're trying to deal with your health, and then you're trying to deal with the language. That's a lot. So if you're thinking Portugal, I say start learning Portuguese. So that's she's answering you. So and I have the person that. So I want to. Okay. So we'll touch upon the Portuguese. Let's go to the healthcare real quick, right? So for the, you know, we won't say older. You know, we all young. You know. Excuse me. We have to say this. The lady just came. Guess who she brought that for? So the lady just brought us these pastries and some drinks. So we're just sitting here. And this is how nice. This is how nice they are. Cheers. We didn't take obrigada. Muito obrigado. This is Portugal. Hospitality. This is the hotel we met, and this is my hotel. This is where I only stay. You know, I haven't stayed. The age I am, I haven't stayed at a hotel where I've gotten been treated with the love. You know, the love that I get here. You know, that's good, isn't it? Good. That's good. So, that's so nice. You know, they don't. Sorry, but this is. It may not be the richest country, but it's so full of love. All these things add up. So,
we'll touch on the health insurance. So most people that come here, if they're coming from another country, if you don't mind, because you're retired here. So how has your experience been with the private health insurance? Personally, I would say just get private health insurance because it's very affordable. I'm currently right now getting hip treatment. Hip. My MRI was 60 euros, which is about $65. If that was the States, it probably would have been like, what, 3,000 or something?
Something like that. I don't have been
something like that.
But it's sort of ridiculous.
Monthly bill for health insurance is 58 cell phone bill. So how is if you don't mind talking about health insurance experience?
Okay, here's a really good one. I'd say a recent one. It was the same procedure that you have as you get a certain age, and I had it in the States the last time. And first thing you do when you're in the States, before they even make that appointment, you see the admin to make sure that your insurance covers it. That's the first thing.
And that costs money.
And so here, I was having the same procedure. And so I go, and they made the appointment and everything, and I took care of everything. I go to the hospital, have the procedure, and so I'm thinking, I'm going to have to pay first. They don't ask for anything. They didn't.
Here, you're talking about here in Portugal now.
In Portugal.
Okay.
They didn't even. Well, maybe they recognized it because I've been for other things, but they didn't say. We didn't talk about how much it was going to cost, anything. I had the procedure. They said at the end of your procedure, before you leave, you didn't pay. Because if they do the procedure and they notice something that they need to do something, then they can do that. If they need, something's going on, they notice something, they'll take care of it. So your cost might be different. So you pay is the last thing you do. In the States, you pay before they even see you. Well, after they see you, they'll, they have to check with your insurance to make sure everything, whether they'll, cover it or how much they'll cover it before they do it. Here, because I have my own insurance, I just tell the last minute, I say I have my own insurance. And they go, okay, and then they just go ahead and do whatever, and at the end, I pay. So it's been very easy, and a lot of people have they get health insurance, like you got private, but I don't need that. I have that, and then being a resident, then you still have to know that you can go to the what's it called? The health center.
Health center. Oh, Saúde.
Yep. He's very good with his Portuguese. I'm working on mine.
Eu falo português muito.
So we have to practice, But anyway, I go there for certain things, and they'll do certain things that will cost you in the States for free.
For free.
For free. Yeah.
It's amazing. And how would you say because people may be worried, okay, private or public, it's another country they don't know. How has the quality of health insurance for you been in Portugal? The quality, the doctors, the treatments, whatever.
Gosh. I have excellent. Excellent, yes. I have excellent doctors.
Excellent.
Yes. They speak English.
Yep.
Especially if you have private insurance. If it's like, say, if you go to the public hospital, the doctors will speak English, but the people that you have to see up to get to the doctor, from the reception
consultation, reception,
they may not.
Yeah.
I won't say they don't speak it, but they prefer you speak some Portuguese.
Yeah.
So I had my Portuguese teacher teach me a few phrases to help me when I go to the health center. And then that's how they help me.
Yeah.
Because she taught me a few phrases. So I'm working on it. But that's the way to go. But when you're having a medical situation, it's difficult enough in English. So you really, the doctors though, they explain it really well. And sometimes they call you back. Or if you have a procedure, they will give you a number. They give you a number and they says, call anytime. Yeah. Now that number works for maybe however many days they think it need, I guess you need. And then all of a sudden you try that number, it doesn't work anymore. But they will call and check on you, and they're really good. Yeah. I've been 100% pleased with 99.9% of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And we see it. You know, you young. She young. She younger than me. Y'all see it? She younger than me. So let's talk about the Portuguese. Why did you want to learn Portuguese, and then why do you think it's important? Well, why did you want to learn Portuguese before I ask the next question?
Because I'm living in the country.
Okay, there you go.
You know, show respect. Show respect and make an effort. That's all they ask. They know their language is difficult, but they will help you. You know, they appreciate it. They smile, just the smiles on their face.
Yeah.
You know, but it is a difference in different dialects, like in the U.S. different dialects too.
Yeah.
But the difference I noticed from Lisbon compared to the Algarve is when I'm in the Algarve, when I practice, oftentimes, you know, I'm trying to practice when I'm out, and they will just say to me, "Just speak English." But when I come to Lisbon, they just, you know, and they do smile, but they, you know, here, if you make an effort, they just smile. And, you know, then if you struggle and you need some help, they'll help you. But I've never been here as many times as I've been to Lisbon. They've never said, just speak English. You know, they just smile, you know, and they're just happy that you're trying. And they always say, you know, it's a difficult language. Yeah. Which I think it is for me, but we have different experiences on languages. So for him, it's easy. And for me, but being a senior, being retired, you know, I have a great Portuguese teacher, so I tell everybody how wonderful she is. But with this third year, I should be much better than where I am. And so I told her recently, I said, you know, I'm going to practice every day. And I've gotten better, you know, but I just have to put the time in for that, just like I do for other things. You know, because if you're going to get better, you have to practice.
You got to practice. And why do you think it's, because so you're here, pay the respect. Why do you think it's important to learn a language when you're in the country? Not only because you live here, but in terms of integrating with the community. And she brought us more drinks.
Thank you.
Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado.
Thank you. What is this?
The red fruit.
Yeah. Thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers.
She must know we're thirsty.
So, why do you think it's important to learn the language to integrate with the people? Like why do you think that? Like, so, to give context, I love studying about languages, but one of the things that I am it's very important to me when I go to a country is to learn the language. Even when I went to Marrakesh, I started learning some Arabic. Just the basics. Hello, show respect. You know, why do you think?
Effort.
So a lot of what I've seen with Portugal is that yes, it's harder, but I see that a lot of foreigners, Black Americans, white, whatever it is, don't make an effort and don't integrate. So why do you think that is important? Not only for you, but just from like your overall experience. How would you say?
To integrate. It just makes your experience. You're gonna have unique experiences, you know, and they respect it so much. You know, even like the lady kept bringing us. She knows, you know, we're here. You know, she's probably seeing you. She sees me all the time.
Yeah.
This is where I get treated. You get treated. You don't do it to get treated better. It's just respect. It's just respect, and you want to learn. You know, so. And it's important that we continue to learn and you know, challenge our brains as we get older, you know, whatever age. But
you ain't old. You younger than me. You ain't younger than me. What you talking about?
I never go. I'm like you. I never go to a country without learning a few words. When I get on an airplane, I know how to say hello and you know basic things. You know, but I never go to a country without making an effort. You know, and I've noticed some people that I've had that I've visited. That made no effort, you know. But so do your homework before you come. And also do your homework looking at the at the map because to be honest, as far as education in America, we haven't been taught or had the opportunity in school
Yeah.
to learn a lot about history, regardless of what history it is. And so the more that you can, the more you learn. When I got ready to come here and in my efforts, and I said I'm moving to Portugal, and my question, someone would say to me, what part of Spain?
Spain, you in?
What part of Spain? What part of Portugal is Spain and stuff like that? And I go, and then they would say, "Are you sure?" I go, "No. Portugal and Spain are two different countries." You know, and I say, "Just look it up."
Yeah.
You know, so we don't have the history background that these Europeans have. And I think because of this being being a European, Portugal is in the
European Union,
with all the countries that they have around. So they learn a language. They travel, so they're motivated at a very young age. You know, just the close proximity. I think helps them to
be so open-minded.
Yeah, be open-minded and learn the languages and things. I think that's real important. So, which in America is not, because America is a big country. So, and people weren't traveling as much, you know. But it's important to learn a language and learn the language, and learn the culture, and dress appropriately. There's so many little things that you can do just to, so that you represent your country well, and you represent yourself. In the best light. So, and some of the things that we may be appropriate in the States may not be appropriate in other countries, as you know. And this is not one of those countries where you have to, cover your head or whatever. But it depends on where you are. Do your homework about so you're not being disrespectful, and at least not knowing that you're being disrespectful.
So I like that. You're giving us some valuable information. This is the first interview, and she's going. She's setting the bar high.
Oh, please.
So what? So let's talk about what would you say? You left. Okay, so if you how in 1987, right? How old were you when you left the States?
35.
35, and you have not looked back. So
nope, I have not looked back.
What would you say? What would you say? If it's anything you miss about the States?
Absolutely nothing.
Really? Wow. Really?
I really don't, because I love traveling. Even when I was a little girl, before probably I could articulate or understand, I always wanted to go. Go ahead. I always wanted to go to. Some reason I wanted to go to China. And I don't know why, but sometimes when you have dreams or you have ambitions, you keep them to yourself.
Yeah, you got
people don't understand it, and so this happened when my first overseas was in, Okinawa. It wasn't China, but it was, close enough, and I went to different places. I've always been interested in people from different cultures. I sort of gravitate to that when I would go to conferences. And bless you. Food, I think brings people together too. So,
Yes.
Different foods and things, and that's a good way to start. If you like, a lot of people love eating, so you can just go try different restaurants, get to know the locals in your community with the different diverse cultures. The different menus and restaurants. Go check them out. And that's a good way to get a start. It's food and music.
Music, I was about to say. I was late. I knew you was gonna say it. We a team. I knew you was gonna say it. Food and music.
That brings the world together.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what language you speak.
That's amazing. So 35 is when you left. Would you would you have gone, if you know what you know now, would you have left done it sooner?
You know what? I don't know. Sometimes I'm glad, maybe in a sense, because I know people who came overseas much younger.
Yeah.
I think because I came at that age, I had enough experience.
Yeah.
So I didn't have, people that came earlier often had forgotten what it was like to live in the United States. But for me, because I left late enough in my life, I knew.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know what I was going to when I left, but I just knew I needed something different.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea, you know, what it was going to lead to. But I just think it, you know, when I think back sometime, I am surprised at my own self that I was able to do it. But I just didn't let anyone discourage me, you know, because I think if you care for a person, you want to encourage them, you know, not, you know, so I just went with that. You know, I said, I can't not go because someone doesn't want me to go, because then I'm unhappy.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So never let anyone steal your joy, you know, just be joyful.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah.
and then with that, when I did leave, I tried to help the ones who I left behind. You know, I made an effort.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't go and just totally forget people.
Yeah.
I made an effort, so, you know, and then I can move on. You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah. Do you feel like, so let's touch upon that, right? Do you feel when you have went back to the States in your previous visits, how has the relationships have been from friends / family members? Because you've been gone for so long. You got 2-3 different lives now. You know, they'll probably don't even know what you look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how would you say the experience has been? Do you feel tension from them, jealousy, envy? How has that been? Because now they are older now than you, because you're young, and they're in the States. So yeah, how would you, if you don't mind touching on that?
Yeah. My family and friends, my close friends are still my friends. But I didn't, some of the ones you thought were your friends, you realize, you know, they just sort of lost communication. You know, I made an effort when I first went back to reach out to friends and family, you know, and, you know, it wasn't necessarily received that well, and then I let it go, you know, I moved on. But it was sort of good in a sense, because I thought that some of the people who I thought were friends, you know, they just cut ties, you know, even though you get on the plane, like when I was in Okinawa, I'm flying almost 24 hours, including the layovers and everything, to get from Okinawa back to, you know, home.
Yeah.
And you get off the plane and they, oh, where are you? Come visit. I'm here. Come visit with me here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and you know, that doesn't necessarily happen.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
You know, I try to encourage people, and you know, I send things back to family and friends, and you don't hear from them, so I just sort of let it go. You know.
You do your part. It's all
Yeah, I
you
did
can
my
do.
part. I took, like I said, first I took a photo album, which, you know, I wasn't taking it to brag. I was taking it so they could know I wasn't making it up.
Yeah,
It was coming from the heart, and that I'm okay, you know, but it wasn't taken like that. So after that, I never did another photo album.
Yeah,
You know,
she was like,
no,
follow me
no,
on
no,
Facebook.
no, not doing that anymore. You know. But
You learn a lot. You learn a lot.
You learn, and that even within your job, sometimes you may have friends that you think are your friends, but if you begin to move and make progress, and they're not, their feelings and attitudes towards you can change,
and that's a reflection of their own insecurities.
Yes. So you know, just do the right thing, what you think is right for you. You know, but the good thing about it, I've had so many people who want family, people I've met along the way, who've encouraged me, you know, and so when I retired, you know, people had already retired, whether they was in the States or whether they were overseas, and so they gave me tips, you know, it's something about wisdom, and I think a lot of young people, you know, when you're young, you don't have wisdom, okay? You don't have that kind of wisdom, and you need to have friends. I have friends of all ages, you know. I have young friends, older friends, you know, and it's important to have friends of all ages, and you just, you know, come together and you talk with them, and everybody can bring something different. The thing I think what I realized with family is when you're just with family, see, that's sort of a similar experience. So the more you broaden yourself around other people, like-minded people who come from different backgrounds and experiences, the more you're going to grow. You know, so I think that's
100%.
I think that's important.
100%.
Yeah, because if you're just with your family, you all come up the same way. You know, so I was just glad that I was always curious. And you know how I am. You know, I can't where we are now, where he's filming, I had breakfast here by myself this morning. And if I'm by myself, I always end up talking with people next to the table or whatever. You know?
Yo, Lola's the woman in her city. I went down there every I'm not joking. Every shop, the hair salon, the restaurant, we're all walking, they're coming out. I'm like, yo, this woman is a celebrity. So I love that.
Yeah, you feel at home. Home is where where you rest your head.
Yeah, it's where the heart is. It's not where the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
It's not where you necessarily where you're born. So
and
it's not saying because it's not for everybody. So just weigh out. But main thing is first start with I think making a list of and thinking about yourself and being true to yourself about who you are, what your expectations are.
Yeah.
And if you just might want to be a person to just travel.
Yeah.
But I think there are other places for everybody, even if it's not Portugal.
Yeah.
I love Portugal, and I would not move. Someone says, so how long are you going to stay here? And it's probably till my last breath.
Yeah.
And so people worry about single people being here, especially when you become a senior. But they have, I went to an expo recently. So they have people, which I did not know, but they have people, an organization that takes care of people who are single and that are older by themselves, whether it's doctor's appointment, maybe you just need a visitor.
Yeah.
This is what they told me.
I got you.
All kinds of things, They do all kinds of things, just to help you, So but I don't need that, Some of my friends talked to me before I moved about, who's going to do this, that if you get older and you need help. And I said, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to try to stay as healthy as I can. And if I need help.
He's sitting right next to you.
Exactly. That's why you have friends different ages. So it works out well. No, but it's all good, Yeah, but you just learn from everybody.
Yeah. Micheline, Lola, that's you've been giving them the dropping the gem. So there's a comment from Shay Roberts, shout out to her. I'm trying to remember the question, but she wanted me to ask because I after we did the post in the group, I asked questions, but it was along the lines of like, hey, I'm okay with like leaving friends and the family behind for like vacations and stuff like that. But you kind of touched upon this, but I wanted to acknowledge her question. But for moving, I don't know. Basically, she was going along the lines of like, I don't know, how they would feel, and how do you like handle that and go about that? So, because you're like you said, you're leaving them behind. You have touched upon this, but I wanted to acknowledge your question. So,
I don't really think it's a sense of leaving them behind. Physically, you're moving on, and they are there. So you can still have a relationship.
Yeah.
But you have to decide, what's more important. Some people cannot. I have a very good friend.
Yeah.
She couldn't, and we're still good friends. One of my best friends, and we talk all the time.
Yeah.
And she's, lived with me or been with me through everything, remotely. We stay in touch by phone. She's come to visit. She, has some, but she just said she couldn't do it, because of family situation.
Yeah.
Which is okay. And I understand her. She understands me. And we just respect each other.
That's
because
amazing.
Because she really wanted me to come back when I retired.
Yeah.
And then she said, I think you need to just go with what your plan was.
Yeah, and that's an amazing
because
friend.
she thought maybe, she said, okay, maybe you could, my family I'm not close to, but it's, I've done my part. And she said, maybe you come back, but when I go back to visit, I could sense things were not changing, I put in effort. Pay attention. Don't ever think, and I know many other people who left overseas, and they go back to start. They've been away for a while. They go back and they think they can just put the pieces together and build that relationship back. You can't build it back. It's time has passed. And if they're not willing to accept you where you are when you go visit, and staying in touch. And even though they may accept you, you still may get that once you get back. I've also seen people go back only to find out that there was a lot of resentment. Because you've been gone, and now you think you can come back and just, you know, they don't understand that. You know, so I just say go with your heart and your mind. You know, do your homework, and you know, if it doesn't work out for you, then try a different place.
Yeah.
You know, and encourage them to come.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's all you can do. So I've encouraged, you know, friends and family to come.
Yeah.
So if they choose not to come, that's not on me.
Yeah.
You know, so because you can't change anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to change anybody. I just want people to be happy. And be in their best self. You know, I like to give information. That's my teaching was my field. And so my family thinks I'm always teaching, and I always am.
Yeah. She's preaching right now. You preaching, not teaching. You preaching right now.
That's my personality, you know. And I share information because I think that, you know, that's what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
You know, if people had not given me information, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah.
If people hadn't given me the information.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had people that tell me just little things, you know, and I go, thank God for them for helping me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm open to listening.
Yeah.
I make my own decisions. You know, I might not always agree, but they don't need to know that. You know, if they've given me information, I thank them, I think about it, and I make my decision. They're not upset one way or the other.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because you've done what you need to do.
Done, 100%. Whoo, Lola. So I have one last question. If there was a service, right, that helped people with the start of their relocation process in Portugal in terms of, you know, after they've done their research and interest, filming the properties for them, the areas for them, the cities for them, apartments if they want to just rent, because not a lot of people you're renting. Yep. So not a lot of people come and have to buy. You know.
But renting can be more of a challenge.
So
unless things may change, but right now, you know, when I was looking at the process because of paying attention to, you know, longevity running in my family, I knew that when I got ready to retire, I did not want to buy a place. Bless you. I wanted a place that, you know, someone else can take care of things when they break down.
Yeah. That's
so
smart.
that, you know, that makes sense. You know. So I think you have to pay attention to that, you know, and take that into consideration.
Yeah. And so if there was a service that helped with, you know, starting that process of showing you visuals, live visuals, videos with audios, explaining about the apartments, the properties, or even like, hey, I think I'm interested in Lisbon or Porto. Could you film and show me that? Do you think that's a useful service that that you would use, you know, before, if you didn't have the chance to come and visit the 9 times?
That's a start.
Yeah.
That's a good start. You know, because you want to get as many different opinions. In different situations. And then you begin to weigh all the pros. You know, now this is, you know, you notice this is consistent in all your research.
Yeah.
This is inconsistent. You know, so I think it's important to look at a variety of different options, and in that way, you know, you'll have a better opportunity even before you come.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's great.
Yeah.
She's bringing us more.
Muito obrigado. She bringing us the drinks, y'all. So,
hey.
Cheers. So yeah, it's definitely a start. The service, like you mentioned, it's a good start.
It's a good start. So, you know, so like for me, when I got ready, I had done my homework and I had been here, and then I got ready to move real estate. When I would go into the real estate places, and I said, I'm looking for a rent. Nope, we don't do rentals. And I was sort of told that it was difficult, but not impossible. So because I came a lot, I was making contact with everybody. You know, I'm interested. You know, I meet somebody. I say, okay, if you can check it out, let me know. You know, and so it was word of mouth. You know, but patience, and I had gone through a real estate person, through an organization, and they were sort of determined that they were going to convince me. The only thing available was some place that was not up to my standards.
Yeah.
This is all we have.
Yep.
And even when I told the person, I said, look, I'm going to be retiring and I need a place. So I went back, and it was in the spring.
Yep.
And I was retiring in June. And they showed me some properties, and it was similar to what he showed me before, which wasn't up to my standard.
Yeah.
He said, well, this is all I have. And I said, well, thank you so much. I said, you know what? I don't want to stress. I don't want to stress you. I think I'll wait till December.
Yeah.
So if you can come up with some places within that time frame, you know, that, you know, meet my standards, you know, let me know.
Yeah.
And of course, he wasn't able to. Because he was so sure that because I gave him that deadline, you know, that he thought I was going to just settle.
Yeah.
And I did not settle. I did not settle, but because I had talked to everybody, and I had also friends that when I retired that I did not know about that ended up working together, knew, but we had never had that discussion because we weren't that close.
Yeah.
And they got here before me, and you know, they put out.
They were your person on the ground, basically.
Yep. They were already out there, and they gave Micheline. He's okay. Can I give your information to this agency? Sure. And just when I also had my other friend who had retired before. Well, she'd already retired and had moved to Beer. And she said, okay, don't worry about things. So when you start your paperwork, you have to have an address.
Yeah.
But this is just my experience. Maybe, things change.
Yeah.
The experience, the requirements, I want to say that, change frequently. So anybody who might just have told you what happened to them, it may not be the same process for you. So that's why sometimes when people are reluctant to give you a lot of information on that, it's only because they've already done it. Like for me, I've done it already, and so I moved on to a different level. But it does change. It changes so quickly. So quickly. So I was lucky that I had this friend who she asked me, and she gave it to this agency. And but my friend I had known said, "Don't worry, you can stay at my place. I could stay at her place, because you have to have an address." And that was at the time I did it. And it just worked out for me. But it's good. But then, as you're speaking about service like that, for instance, for me.
The virtual, showing the apartments, that person on the ground from a non-agent perspective, so they're not operating off of like
just the agent.
Someone
who wants to
just help you.
So my friend ended up going with the with the agency. She said, the agency. They contacted me, and so I said, first of all. I was surprised, because it just sort of came at a time when I needed it, so I was a little reluctant. So I contacted another person I had met that lived in Lagos, and I said, is this agency, is this legit? And they said, yes. So then when the agency contacted me, and they said, we can give you a virtual tour. I said, okay, no problem. And I said, but my friend that lives there also, I want her to come over and do it with Sean. No. I said, oh, yes, I need her there.
Exactly.
So she will contact you or you contact her, and they did. And she came over and they started it together. The agency, she did it mainly. And then once everything was over, I said, I'll let you know. And she was gone and my friend left. My friend called me or I called her. And I got all my questions answered because the agency they have their goal, And so I got it. Luckily I had my friend, who, and I said, okay, what about the neighborhood?
The neighborhood.
About the neighborhood.
Yep.
And what is it really like? And so she told me pros and cons. For instance, the area I live. It's slightly hill, and so my friend
things that the agent is going to explain that could be a big
exactly
deciding factor for somebody.
So my friend was a little reluctant, but she did tell me, and I said, "It's not too steep, but it's a little hill." I said, "It'll be okay." So just those kind of things that the agency is not going to tell you. Their goal is to sell. And another thing in Portugal, I think often happens is. A lot of people come and they purchase. Well, I'm sorry, they purchase it without coming to see it.
Yes.
Sight unseen, putting money down, and Portugal's an old country, and as you ride around, you see a lot of buildings that aren't complete.
I see a lot of buildings that are complete.
Complete, and right now a friend is she's been here and she's been through all of that, but her place is not complete yet. Maybe maybe when she comes back in the spring.
Yep.
So if you don't have the extra funds, then if you're expecting to move at a certain,
you gotta have someone on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
So, Portugal Property Insight Tours. There we go. So I inspired by Mon and started my side business. I know what it's like just looking at properties here in Portugal, trying to apartments. It's a journey, it's a process. So make sure you check out the website. This is what I do. I'm helping people that are back abroad, and I'm the person on the ground, be viewing the properties, giving you live feedback, a non-agent perspective surrounding locations, the area like she talked about, to get the more of the field, so you're not getting just hustled. You know what I'm saying? So
because that's exactly what
we need. So
we do. You need stuff like that.
Yeah. So Lola, my phone about to die.
That's because you talk so much.
Yeah, that's you. I'm interviewing you. So listen, thank you so much for being on this first episode of
I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you so much. This 10 series episode, life abroad, what it's like relocating overseas, life in Portugal. Lola is living her best life. We ain't make it yet.
Yes.
This is my brand. I recently started.
Bracelet.
Yeah, she got the drip. Make sure you check out the website as well. Life is a journey, and we ain't make it yet. Emphasize on we, because we are all in this life journey together. None of us should go through this alone. My goal is to inspire people to live their purpose, chase their dreams, think outside the box. That's the movement, and you're doing that. It's I've learned a lot from you. I started way before, and you're still doing it. You got plenty of years to go. So
I plan on it. Staying active.
Yeah, 10,000 steps a day.
Well, just think about retiring, and that's what you can do. You have your goal, and it's just get out there. Life is too short. This world is so big.
Yeah, it's so much out there.
I think I've traveled a lot until I meet somebody else.
Yeah.
And they travel more. And then I said to one friend, "Oh, you've traveled a lot." And then they said, "Oh, we've traveled, but this other friend, and so people have traveled, and
you got to.
But you young people are traveling way more. I was telling you, at your age, I had never left. I had never left the United States.
Yep.
So the digital nomads are, that's inspiring.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah. It's never too late when you're young,
It's never too late. Make the move. Listen, hope you enjoyed this first episode. You are watching the Boss Show, episode 1. Life abroad, life overseas, life in Portugal. I'm going to be interviewing people. Make sure you stay tuned. This is my lovely grandma, mom, auntie, sister, all that, Lola. Make sure you give me a like. Comment below what questions you want me to address for the next episode, what type of people you want me to interview. And we just getting started. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Just subscribe.
Learn the language wherever you go.
Yeah, learn the language. So we are out here. Give me a hug. We're going to end it off. Give me a hug here. We are out.